how to shoot skeet, but the first time he took us out, I was knocked literally backwards and somersaulted, and I never picked it up again.
I've never shot a gun. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever end up shooting a gun. I wouldn't say no to it or anything, but not something I would ever seek out. Except I did try to make a gun when I was Jerome's age, and out of a copper tube and some phosphorus and some magnesium and a ball bearing and a candle. Just about blew my head off. I can't believe I didn't blow my head off. That was my only kind of experience with that. I was largely unsupervised. Anyway, so this is the only playing I'm doing today. Very slow day today. It was good to work on the pantry.
Well, how's how's the cold
It's gone. Thank God.
done?
Yeah. And we played a gig yesterday, me and the boys. It's called Another Bloody Folk Club here in Toronto. It's very funny. ABFC. And it's great fun. A lot of singing. Like it's an English thing, you know? And so it's singing throughout the whole thing, actually. It's really fun. Usually the whole audience is singing too. There's about 60, 70 people there. And me and the boys played a set, and it was great. We played the Highland Pipes. We played Irish music on the Highland Pipes, which is very risque. And then one of my fiddle students had a floor spot playing the guitar and singing. And he did excellent. That was Rick Ennis. So that was pretty cool. So it was great. It was really the only gig I had this weekend. Slow time. I'm going away now. On Thursday, I have a gig up in Thunder Bay. We have a show. We're doing a concert up in Thunder Bay. So we leave on Thursday, come back on Saturday, and then I go up to Sagamok for a week. And then when I get back from that, I go off to Nova Scotia to do they're inducting Winston Scotty into the Cape Breton Musicians Hall of Fame, and me and my brother are playing a set for his particular induction, a set of Winston Scotty tunes. And then after that, it's a crazy mayhem summer of traveling and playing. So I'm trying to take this time and relax. Anyway, let's get warmed up and play a few tunes. So let's somebody remind me of the material. I thought it was Scottish, maybe.
Well, we have the castle. Okay, thanks to Lisa.
Yeah.
We also have the Earl of Dalhousie, and we have Back to the Change House and Jenny Dang the Weaver, and those two seem to be popular tunes. A lot of the other classes are doing them too.
Yes. That's right. It was a request.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to turn down requests, especially if they're written on a $20 bill.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Crossing the Minch is in there somewhere too. So
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. We're going to learn the castle, which that's going to be a great tune to learn. There's a lot of Irish, I mean, it's an Irish tune, but there's a lot of Irish stuff that you can use in that tune, and we can learn them, the little tricks. But anyway, but let's warm up by playing a good D major scale and then McNabbs. Yes.
Yaps.
I realized that when I said last week about the castle and Natalie McMaster, I was mistaken. I heard that on another recording where then after they played the castle, they played that one that they always play after it, The Nightingale, also by Sean Ryan. So
Beautiful tune.
so last week I said, "Oh, that's a Natalie McMaster." I mean, I'm sure she probably played it, but I got my recordings confused. I was thinking of somebody else.
I have to say, I was kind of surprised that she would play Castle because it's like a deep Irish tune. And also, you don't usually go into a J. But it doesn't matter because the castle's awesome. And we're also going to get the Nightingale.
Yeah, so like basically I was incorrect. It was like the castle and the Nightingale, and I can't remember which fiddler I was listening to. So
Was it Martin Hayes?
that's probably it. It was
Was it
that.
slow?
You mixed up Martin Hayes and Natalie McMaster.
Well, it was
Yeah.
either him or Kevin Burke. I don't
Oh,
remember.
Kevin Burke probably could be Kevin Burke. Yeah.
Because it was fast, and although You know.
Oh, if it was fast, it was Kevin Burke.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, I know Kevin, and I know some of his tricks. So we can work on that. Anyway, so yeah, let's warm up with a D major and crossing the Minch because we're going to work on that bowing. I remember that's kind of why we were going to do that one, and then we'll learn the castle, and it'll be great. Okay. So D major scale and arpeggio. I'm just going to mute everybody, and let's do it. Ready, 2, 3, slow. Oh, that was a nice fourth there. While we were playing that, I noticed, David, you get your string in tune there. Is it okay? I was thinking of an article I read, or not an article, a video I watched yesterday of James Ennis, who is probably the best violinist in Canada. He's the National Arts Centre orchestra guy, and it was called "What's in James's Case," and it was really cool. And they opened it up, and he's got a viola and a violin in there. And the viola is a new one. It's only a couple of years old, made by a guy that he knows in I can't remember where. But the violin was a 1719 Stradivarius. Can you imagine that? And then, of course, he's got a bunch of junk in there, which is really hilarious. He's like, I have 3 different kinds of rosin, and I have no idea why. It cracked me up. I love the fact that he's got junk in there. The other thing he has, which really made me think, is his friend who's a luthier made him a square for the top of the fiddle with a bridge. So it's a little piece of wood or plastic, I don't know what it's made of, but it's a little square that he uses to make sure that the bridge is totally square to the top of the fiddle, because it can lean sometimes. Sometimes when you're tuning over time, your bridge can lean towards whatever way you're always tuning. It's usually a way like this. And so you might look at your bridge and it's like, oh, look at that. And then you got to kind of right it. You got to put it back on its feet. So he has this square that he puts there to give him the right angle all the time. Great idea. Might think about getting one myself. Anyway, let's talk more D. Yes. Oh, you're still muted.
Generally, tuning's not a big problem for me. A number of years ago, a guy down here put geared pegs on my fiddle, so like I don't have any fine tuners down here because I don't need them.
That's
You know,
pretty cool.
geared pegs, they work just like a guitar,
You
pretty
have
much.
a too, Lisa. I know. Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Mm.
Okay, well, lucky you guys. Anyway, let's play D. Okay, ready, 2, 3, go. That go good? Everybody feeling D-ish? Let's pick up the pace, do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, go! I stayed good. You guys stay good? Great. Okay, Crossing the Minch. One of my faves. I actually kind of find it a boring tune. I mean, I understand it, like, and it's not like I don't get the groove going with it.
A couple of weeks ago, you said you hated it because you've been playing
Yeah,
it.
I was joking. I'm joking when I say it's my favorite tune. But it is good practice, and we're gonna get some good up practice here. Let's give it a go. Now, how fast should we go? Because you want to make sure you get the bowing in there. So we'll take our time and do it like that. We'll see if we can get through it twice. 1, 2, 3. faster. some good bowing there. How did we get along with the bowing? Is it getting to be possible?
Very well.
Yeah. And this is the perfect one because you might not get them all, but you're going to get some. Now, let's try one more faster. See if the bowing stays in there. See if everything, doesn't suffer too much. One, two, three, go! That looked good, guys. That looked successful. It was pretty quick, too. Okay, well, that's an ongoing project. Okay, you want to make sure you're doing the bowing, that you're doing the right part of the bow. You're maximizing the amount. You don't have to use your arm, and you see if you can go really whipping through that tune. The top speed for that tune would be kind of like this. Etc. You know the drill. Quick. Okay, so let's see about this castle. I sent you guys the music, right? So you have a good version. That is good. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember diving into this one last week.
Oh yeah.
And I think I overthought it. You
Easy
know,
to do.
I put in a whole bunch of bowing going across measures and the whole crap like that thing. And I was looking at it this afternoon and I went, I've just overthought this thing, So I went back and I played it sort of Cape Breton style, just sort of sawmill bowing up and down kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
I threw in a few bowed triplets kind of thing here and there, but not too many. Still mostly sawbone, but
Yeah. Well, the advantage to the Sabo is that it can actually kind of, depending on the person, can kind of help with the feel that you're actually going for. Because when you're doing one bow per note, it improves the rhythm right away. Sometimes when you do a lot of slurring, like slurring, I mean, look, we do lots of slurring, no question about it. Like you can talk about Kevin Burke, he slurs a lot. But there's a danger in slurring where you can mess with the rhythm. You can play the notes different lengths. So when you play, like for instance, if you look at the very first bar, okay, when you do it one bow per note, it's pretty well going to be even. When you slur it, you can do this if you want and not even realize it. See that? not even realize it. You kind of, something's wrong, but you're not sure what. So that's the danger of slurring. And so when you do these slurs, especially the ones with a lot of notes in them, the Irish style slurs with 3, 4, sometimes 5 notes in a bow, you want to always be careful of that, making sure it's nice and even and that it doesn't affect the rhythm. So that's why Sawmill is always the best place to start. You can't go wrong with Downy Uppy. Now, did we learn it or did I just send it? Sent it. Okay, so let me play it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me play it a couple of times, or maybe even a few times. And I'm also going to kind of show you. The first time I'll play it straight up the way it's written on the page, and then I'll show you a few variations that people do just in terms of ornamentation and phrasing. Okay. Anyway. Idea. Simple melody, there's a lot you can do with it, and I showed you a few examples there of what people always do with it. That's kind of the usual, but if you look at the first, it's a big giant A minor thingy, this thing. The first couple of phrases or a couple of bars, that's like very, very A minor. So it's little scales starting on the C and then on the B, and then an almost scale. It skips a few notes. See that? It skips a 3 and a 2. Or sorry, a 2 and a 3. And then you do this big A. So let's just see if we can get that first phrase. And we end up doing that again, so we might as well get it really good. Okay, very slow. 1, 2. Okay, do it again. Ready, go. One more time. Ready, go. Okay, now if you're so inclined, and if you have the fingers for it, instead of CBA, you do a roll. And instead of BAG, you do a roll. See that? That's the most common way to open up this tune. See that? Okay, that's the first phrase. Now, when you got down that low A, you're going to go. And that really is a turnaround phrase because it brings you right back around. So let's try that. Second two bars of the first part. Big long A. Ready, go. Sorry, I screwed it up. Ready, go. Do it again. Ready, go. Okay, now obviously you're looking at that A and the eighth note, and it's screaming out for a roll. And I would certainly do a roll there too, like this. Very nice move. A roll on the low A is, when you get it right and you get it in tune, is a very powerful one. You know, I feel like I'm one of those cars that has those subwoofers. It's bouncing, you know. Anyway, so yeah, and then we're going to do another roll in the bar below there too. Now, we've practiced that a few times, so why don't we see if we can stick those two phrases together? Okay, let's go through them and see if it works. One, two. Let's do it again right away. Same thing. Ready, to go. Okay, now let's go one more time, but this time we're going to keep going. We're going to do that first phrase that repeats. Okay? So first phrase, second phrase, first phrase again. Ready, to go. Simple ending, eh? So you, oh, whoops. So you do that A roll, and then probably do an E roll, and then you do that last bar, which is very simple. So let's get that ending. Let's just make sure we have that ending. Come on, shoulder rest. Quit it. Be nice. Okay. Last two bars of the A part are ready to go. Okay, let's do that again. Ready, to go. One more time. Ready, to go. Okay, now this should be the entire A part. Anybody having any problems? You getting it? It's not hard. Okay, let's do it. Let's try playing the whole A part and see if we can do it, say, 4 times. Same speed. A 1, 2, go. again. Last time. Okay. How are we feeling about the A part? No problems?
It's fine. That last time I didn't know you were going to go into the rolls, so I
Oh,
didn't
I
get it
rolled it.
ready.
I rolled it all over the place. And that's kind of what this tune is about. Now, I should also say, though, that if you don't want to do rolls, the other way to do that first part, well, there's two more ways. And sometimes I don't know if I should confuse people, but I like them. So the first way is this. See that? That's a long C, and then an A, and then this little cut. And then see that, and then back to the B. And then you're into the second bar. So C, A, B, C, D, B. Which I love to do. I do it very often. And I heard Kevin Burke doing it once, I think. Well, I think I heard who was doing that? Can't remember. But anyway, it's sweet. And then the other one is, and that's very common. You hear people do that all the time. So C-E-C, B-D-B. See that? So it's a good thing to, I don't like to confuse people, but you have the page there, so you can go back to the Hoyle. But I like it because how many times you got to do this damn thing, right? A whole bunch. Like, you got to play that phrase like 10 times. So it's good to have a different way to do it. So, the first time. And make some other stuff up after that. But the ones that I showed you are the common ones. Okay, it's not my invention. It's what everybody does that I play with here anyway. Okay, we got that A part? Good, let's get the second part. So, starts off with the CBAA. The old octave jump, I gotcha. Okay, very simple. And then we do this little scale down. Skipping 1, skipping 2. See that? And then we're going to arpeggiate. And G. So let's try those first 2 bars. And get that pinky out and ready to go. CBA, ready to go. And we'll go ahead and finish that arpeggio there. Okay, let's try that again. Ready to go. And of course, you can do a nice big roll on that A before playing your B, which is really nice. Let's do it one more time. Ready to go. Now that next bar is a straight up G major arpeggio, and then you go back and do it again partially, and then right down. It's beautiful. What a beautiful phrase. So. It's got that A at the end. Let's try that. Middle phrase. Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay, that's not too hard, eh? Now let's put that whole line together, because in this particular tune we don't go back to a first phrase in the B part. We got kind of a long ending. So let's put together this line. First line of the second part. Ready to go. Let's do it again. Ready to go. Okay, we got all that. Now, the ending. Easy, okay? So first of all, we got a little kind of climb up the scale, and of course we're going to roll it. You can't roll that one though. You can't roll the last one, the E, D, E. You have to just play it. And then up you go with the scale. And then we come down. It's kind of like that descending scale that we did earlier. Skipped a couple of notes. So let's see if we can get this whole last line here. CBC. Ready to go. Down we go. Okay, let's do it again. Same thing. Ready to go. One more time to be sure. Ready to go. Okay? Problemos? No, it's not too hard. Once you get the rolls in there, it's really nice. It's kind of cool. Yep. Looking good there, David. Good use of the pinky. You know, it's funny. I was thinking when I said get your pinky ready, I was thinking about when I was teaching the last time up in Sagamore, and some kid we were doing. I can't remember what it is that uses the pinky now, but some kid was like, "We gotta use our pinky." I was like, "Well, what do you think it was for, man? It's just gonna hang around there." It always reminds me of my friend Kim Vincent there, who used to say, "You don't want to be a three-fingered fiddler." And he's so right. Now, we don't use the fourth finger in our music instead of the open strings. Like, we always use the open strings. But you want to have that strong fourth finger for whatever you need it for. And this tune is a good example. Okay, shall we start at the top? Why not? Have a drink of water. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. do it again. Little faster. Breather. How are we doing? Any problemos? No? Great. We're going to up the speed.
Good.
Excellent. Very good. I thought of a story there while we were playing, but now I forgot. Oh, yeah. So the other band on the docket there last night at the Folk Club was called Hadrian's Wall. And I thought it was funny because, like, Hadrian's Wall is the wall that you know, the Romans erected in England to basically keep the Celts out. And so the band was Hadrian's Wall, and then the Celts came on. And I was listening to a podcast about ancient Rome, especially the frontier and the end of the Roman Empire. And the Celts were very popular in the frontier towns and stuff. Apparently they had about a half a foot on your average Roman in terms of height. So they were taller than most of the Romans. And they dressed cool, is what people said. And the Roman women especially were really attracted to the way the Celts dressed. And then the third thing was the music. They couldn't help it. They loved the music. Now, I don't know what Celtic music would have been at that time. Like, you know, we have tunes from 1,000. I know a tune that's 1,100 years old. That's probably the oldest tune that I know. But that's obviously, we're not even close to the Roman Empire then. So I don't know what the Irish and Scottish people would have been playing at that time. But apparently, the chicks dug it, and it was one of the factors of leading to the collapse of the Roman Empire was Celtic people and their cool clothes and cool tunes and facial hair. That was a big thing because Romans didn't have facial hair. They just didn't do it. And the Celts were kind of like all over the facial hair.
But the Romans were probably better cooks.
I would say,
Food.
yes. Because back in those days, the average Celtic meal would be accidentally dropping your chop into the fire and dragging it out and eating it, right? Okay, shall we pick up the pace a tiny bit and try this one more time? Or 5 or whatever. Let's see if we can do it. I'm sure that we can go that fast. Let me just rearrange a couple things on my screen here. The screen is packed. Way too packed. Okay. One, two, three. One more. Take a little breather and we'll try it a little tiny bit faster if it's possible. How's everybody feeling? Any rolls happening? Good.
A little bit. Third time, yeah. Mhm.
Good, good, good. Excuse me for a sec. Yes. You want to come in, Oreo? Screaming at me. Jeez, when I woke up this morning, I was on my own because Jen's gone, and like these smoke detectors in my new house drive me nuts because they're like the hardwired, ultra sensitive ones, and the one in our bedroom, it I don't know, it went off one time, so I took it off the ceiling. Because the other thing is we have 9-foot ceilings, so when they go off, I got to get a ladder. Really sucks. So anyway, I got it off one time and I never put it back on. So it was on my dresser, and it somehow had fallen into my laundry. And when it can't detect anything, it makes a sound. These really loud chirp sounds. So this morning, to wake me up, my alarm was going off, that thing was going off, and the cat was screaming at me from outside the window. Like, really screaming at me. Jesus Christ. Life is rough. Okay, a little quicker. I think we can do it. And I'm just going to be rolling. So I encourage you to try rolling too. Okay, ready, 2, 3. One more. Woo! How did we do at that speed, guys? Because I kind of cranked it at the end, because I wanted to have a little jig rhythm in there.
Fair to Midland, I think. Fair to Midland for me. Susan was kind of going like that, so
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
How about you, Lisa?
I liked it. I like it.
Good. Now for a tempo, just to let you know, wow, that was about 90. Not too bad there for a tune we just learned. Sometimes it's easier with a tune you just learned. You know what I mean? There's some things that get out of your way. Now let's see about the Nightingale. I can leave you with it, but I gotta find a good version. I can't even remember how it goes. But I was playing it not long ago with another student who was, I can't remember, they have a set. Oh, it's another Sean Ryan, of course.
Are you gonna go up and see Mom? Or are you gonna stay here?
Let's see here.
Yes.
Okay, you gotta be quiet.
Oh my God, this is a gorgeous tune. Brace yourself, everybody. Love how it goes all the way down, eh? Right down to the bottom. And it's a very common tune. Everybody plays it. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is try to get a good version, because this is the session.org, and you know how it is. Now, this one looks not bad, because there is a bit of a second ending. I don't know if you heard that. So I'm going to try this number 2. No, that's not right. Okay, I might have the winner here. Yeah, that's good. That'll do. Yeah, excellent. I will just send this to you guys now. You know, I was reading about Sean Ryan, because I learned so many of his tunes over the years. And a really funny thing happened once. It kind of goes to show my ignorance and my, at the time, youngness. But I was over in Ireland. It was my first time over in Ireland, and I was teaching at this this festival called the Skerries Traditional Music Weekend, which, if you're ever over in Ireland, I highly recommend. It's just north of Dublin. It's a beautiful spot. It's a peninsula. It's got 2 coastlines, like in walking distance from each other. It's really cool. And they have a weekend where you can learn music from people. I was the Cape Breton guy. There was, who else was there? There was, a whole bunch of people, including a guy called Sean Ryan playing the whistle. And like an idiot, I went up to him and said, "Mr. Ryan, I have learned so many of your tunes. I love them so much. You're a beautiful tune writer." And my brother Paul was like, "You idiot, wrong Sean Ryan. Your Sean Ryan died way long ago. You have no idea what you're talking about." Anyway, but the Sean Ryan whistle guy was very nice about it. He thought it was hilarious. What are you going to do, right? It's not my
The
fault.
group ones tend to be gracious, right?
Paul was just embarrassed because I was supposed to be, you know, knowledgeable. But I gotta say that when I went into this stuff, like, I really did not know much about. I mean, like, besides what I heard growing up, which was very specific, and we did play some Irish music, of course, and my dad loved Irish music, but I was just not that familiar. So, you know, all these names I really didn't know that much about. So it took a lot. I remember when I first moved to Toronto, I was here for about 8 months trying to play Irish, and it was during the time when you could download music. Remember that? Like, it wasn't Napster, it was right after Napster. And so I sat there downloading everything I could and just listening and listening and listening and trying to play along. It was a period of time. Well, I'm still kind of doing it, but that I was obsessed at that time, and I was just every night I was going through D. Dannon and Tannehill Weavers and the Bothy Band, like everybody that everybody talked about. I went through and I learned their stuff. And the one of the records I got the most off of was Dublin, with Paddy Keenan and Paddy Glacken. I learned all the tunes off there. Another one, the Blue Fiddle by Sean Smith. I can't recommend that record enough. I learned every tune off of it. So yeah, I had to learn, you know, and embarrass myself once in a while. Anyway, so I've just sent you that Nightingale. We won't try learning it tonight. We'll do it next time. But I want you to get familiar with it. And I played it, and the way I played it was kind of very typical of the way everybody plays it. The music is not bad. Let me do it. I'm going to play it one more time here, because it's not the worst.
Can you throw it up on the screen?
Sure, no problem. I will throw it up there. I'll just upchuck it. Oh, you guys are in the way. was Hadrian's Wall. Where is it? Okay. This is the one we're doing. Okay, it's not going to be too hard. But in the meantime, before we finish for the evening, let's go back to Sean Ryan's and do it a couple more times. Whoops, where are you? I don't know why I don't have to read it, but I get worried I'm going to mess around and do stupid stuff. Well, sometimes cool stuff, but it'd be confusing. Most of the time, stupid stuff. Okay, let's give it a go. One more. One more dozen times. One, two, three, go. Last time. How'd you get along? Getting used to it? That's great, Castle Jake. Now, I think you've had enough torture for tonight. So you have your work here cut out for you. You're going to practice the castle. You're going to practice McNabbs because we're going to try to get that faster as well. And familiarize yourself with the Nightingale. And familiarize yourself with Sean Ryan. You know, he was quite a character. He never made a record. And he never published his tunes. Somebody else did it. He was an unassuming farmer from East Galway. And he didn't know what all the fuss was about. He just said that for some reason, his brain made up these melodies while he was dairy farming. Yes.
McNabbs.
Yeah. It's Crossing the Minch.
Oh, Crossing the Minch. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know the other name for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called for some reason. Excuse me. I never knew it as Crossing the Minch when I was growing up. It was always McNabb's Hornpipe. Even though it's not a hornpipe, but it's a Scottish thing. But Crossing the Minch is the much more common name for it, for sure. All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.